So today in the garden we're going to be taking a look at some perennial plants that actually thrive on neglect. So these perennials don't mind if you forget to water them or you're too busy to be out in the garden all the time. Now if you probably look at my garden you can tell I'm out here quite a lot doing gardening, but that doesn't mean that I don't have plenty of low maintenance perennials that will tolerate a wide variety of different conditions and really aren't as fussy as maybe some of the others that you might have been used to. So let's go through this list. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing for more gardening content, and let's jump right into this. Now I'm starting us off with the beautiful lavender, and I think this variety is Hidcote if I remember correctly. Now this is a bit of a cheat because lavender is technically not a perennial, it's actually a sub-shrub, but it is perennial in the sense that it does come back every single year, so we're going to count it as such on this video. And lavender is absolutely fantastic because it is by far one of the most drought tolerant plants you can get. Lavender is obviously a sort of Mediterranean type plant, and it really does not care about the quality of the soil. In fact, it prefers rougher soil, so soil that's really poor. It also really enjoys just being left alone, not being watered all the time. In fact, if this thing gets too wet, then it really starts to fail. So lavender is really a good example of a plant that actually kind of just needs to be left alone, needs to be left to its own devices to really thrive. And that's why it's so fantastic and beloved by so many. Now, if you have clay soil, you live in a really wet garden, this plant might not work very well for you. So maybe reconsider that. But I'm going to give you the alternative, which is nepeta. Now, this variety is Nepeta Walker's Low, which is basically the opposite. This thing will thrive in really wet soils. It also thrive in pretty dry soils, but I will say it doesn't like to dry out too much, but it will definitely thrive in very wet soils. Both of these plants, by the way, like full sun, just so you know, that's important to know. But yeah, this is a great alternative. I mean, the plants have a similar sort of vibe. So if lavender isn't working in your garden, good chances are nepeta will. And if nepeta isn't working in your garden, then there's a good chance that lavender will. So I thought I'd mention the two of them so you've got sort of an alternative choice, which might help you out. Next, we have Verbena bonariensis, which is a fantastic tall perennial. There's a much taller one back there that you can see. And Verbena bonariensis is fantastic. It's a great self-seeding plant, but it's also wonderful in the sense that, yeah, it really just doesn't mind the conditions of the earth. It doesn't really seem to care if it's too wet. It doesn't really seem to care if it's too dry. It just kind of does its own thing and it thrives. And even when it dies off, it tends to have self-seeded and returns that way. So this is a plant that I really like a lot that can just completely thrive on neglect without too much worry. And it's great for adding a lot of height to your garden as well, as I mentioned, which is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. So if you're looking for a perennial that's nice and tall and airy like this, as you can see, you can't really do too much better than Verbena in my opinion. So I definitely would be adding some of this to my garden as soon as I can. How about some grasses? Down here we have this beautiful orangey Carex prairie fire, and this is a great grass. Now, as in the name, it's a prairie style perennial, and that does mean that it can tolerate poor soil and very dry conditions, and just generally it doesn't like to be fussed too much, which makes it fantastic because that absolutely means that it does thrive on neglect. Paired with it in the back, you can also see we have Stipa tenuissima, which is very much the same, a very similar type of grass. This one's a bit more sort of textural, and this one also thrives on neglect. So these are two grasses that I really love that you can definitely be neglectful of in your garden. Now, of course, when plants are newly planted and they're still establishing, you will need to keep on top of watering them and looking after them, just so they can sink those roots down into the soil. When they do, the roots of these types of perennials will actually search much further than maybe some others would. So that's why they're perfectly drought tolerant, and they're also perfectly, what's the word I'm looking for? They, you can neglect them effectively. So yeah, that's what makes them so good. We also here have a beautiful Calamagrostis, I always say it wrong, Calamagrostis, I believe is the correct pronunciation. I've been trying to improve on this. And this one is called El Dorado. So a little bit less known a variety compared to some others that I've shown in my videos before. A little bit shorter. It'll get a bit taller than this, mind you. This one's especially short, but a really, really nice one. that will absolutely do fantastically in a variety of different conditions. Again, a plant you can neglect, which is great. I mean, I know it sounds a bit mean that we're neglecting these plants, but trust me, they like it. That's what they thrive in, actually. So yeah, there's a few grasses for you. Why don't we move up the pathway now to look at even more plants that thrive on neglect? I mean, I feel like I have a lot. One especially good one is definitely the beautiful Echinops. Echinops is a thistly plant, pretty much a thistle of some kind. Globe thistle, I believe it is also known as. That makes it a perfect contender for a plant that thrives on neglect. Most thistle type perennials, like teasels and things like that, well, they're not really perennial, but you know what I mean. They really thrive on neglect. They don't need constant watering, they don't need constant attention. Just let them do their own thing and they'll do really well. I don't know the specific variety of this echinacea, unfortunately. Echinacea, Echinops, but it's a really good one. I mean, pretty much any Echinops will do the job. I prefer the blue colored ones. There are some white colored ones which I personally haven't had much success with. That might just be me though. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of Echinops as a plant. I think it is truly wonderful and very just durable. Also, as you can see, it's absolutely beloved by bees. I mean, look at this fella having a juicy snack. And you can even deadhead it to get more flowers on. So yeah, Echinops is just such a great plant. It looks so good paired with yellow, as you can see in the back, paired with pink, even paired here with white. But yeah, in terms of low maintenance, it's perfect. Right next to me, and I wish I could show it off better than it currently is, but this is Salvia caradonna, which usually looks a lot nicer earlier on in the year, sort of May kind of time. It's got these really tall purple stems coming up. This is a salvia plant, obviously, and most of those are incredibly low maintenance and they thrive on neglect. These like dry soils, they like full sun, and they really tend to thrive in those conditions. So that's another plant that I would absolutely recommend that, you know, you can plant in the ground, look after for the first year, and then kind of forget about. The only thing that isn't low maintenance about it is if you do want a second flush of flowers, you do have to do a bit of a chop back. But you can actually do a really easy chop back where you just chop it to the ground or chop it in half, and it should, keyword should, come back. So yeah, it's definitely a very good one in my opinion for that low maintenance sort of forget about me type planting that we're talking about here. Next we have the beautiful perovskia silver spire, another really great low maintenance sub-shrubby type perennial, kind of similar to lavender in that regard, where yeah, it's great. I mean, previously this was actually known as a salvia, I think, which is crazy because it feels so different than any other salvia I can think of. But yeah, it's known as perovskia. This variety is blue spire. Beautiful blue, silvery foliage. I mean, I love it. It looks so good here paired with the yellow. And it's a really wonderful plant in the sense that it just does its own thing. The only thing I do find a bit troublesome about it is oftentimes they struggle to stand up straight. As you can see, it's a little bit floppy. I've seen people say that's due to too much moisture in the soil. Apparently that makes it a bit weaker, but I don't think that's always the case. Probably there is some truth to that for sure, but I think sometimes this plant just is a bit fussy and refuses to stand up straight. So get some good plant supports. I mean, I've got some in there, as you can see, but I don't think they've really done the job very well, which is annoying. So next year, I'm going to have to rethink about that. Like a really tight, I think, plant support that'll keep it restricted so it's just nice and upright is what I'm going to go for. So stay tuned for that next year, because I think that's definitely what we're going to do. Also, before it stops flowering, which I'm very sad about, here we have the Achillea cloth of gold. Most Achilleas are perfectly low maintenance and thrive on neglect, which is really handy. They come in a variety of different conditions. This one is the tallest variety at, I think it gets to just about 6 foot and maybe a little bit taller. And it's really amazing. It, you know, this one's yellow, not for everyone, but there's lots of other colors. There's pinks, there's not really purple, but there's lots of pinks, there's whites, there's oranges, there's all kinds of different colors. So Achillea, definitely a plant that could fit into really any garden because it just thrives on neglect. It just doesn't really seem to care what's going on. Although it might not like it if your soil's too wet. That is definitely something that I should know. So those are some of my absolute favorite flowering perennials that thrive on neglect. I'm sure there's a lot more though that I didn't mention, so definitely down in the comment section, please do let us know what some of your favorites are, what's been working in your garden. I would love to hear. And if you made it to the end of the video, definitely consider subscribing. We'd love to have you on the channel.